Don't check WhatsApp messages. Don't check Facebook in between. You want to be fully focused. You want to take good notes. And I know that she has a couple of practical tips. Maybe even we use our phone while we're doing the call now. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm super, super excited because I know it's a passion of her. And she really loves social media. She really loves all the technical stuff. When I don't know anything about technical stuff, then I call her and she always knows the answer or she finds the answer. So I really adore everything what she knows about social media. So we're really in for a nice treat tonight and really a lot of practical tips. So I really ask you to open up your ears, your eyes, your mind, everything, and take good notes. And without any further ado, over to our holiday qualifier all the time. She was already 2 times on holiday with Herbalife free vacation, and I know she's working for next year's vacations like crazy because she wants to be on these vacations. She is on the level of an active World Team already, and I know her goals for this year, and they are big goals, and she uses a lot of social media actually to build her business right now. She had last month over 5,000 volume points. This is where most of you also aim for, and she will share our secrets with us tonight. So please give it up for International Active World Team member, Liesl Jardim. Yay!
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Bia. Welcome on the call this evening, everyone. I hope I live up to that amazing introduction that you just gave. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer before I start the training. So I'm by no means a social media expert. What I'm going to be sharing with you guys is things that I've learned along the way. And I know as a quad leader, for those of you who are part of quads as well, there are certain tasks that we do during the month on the quad groups, which requires you to do certain posts on social media platforms. And some of you seem to be apprehensive to do those things because you're not sure how. So hopefully I can address some of those fears this evening and show you that it's actually not so bad, that it's actually quite easy to do. Just as another note as well, I'm primarily focusing on Facebook tonight because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. We've got a mixed group of people on the call tonight, people who are already pretty good at doing posts on Facebook and some people who have never really tried. So I'm trying to keep the training as neutral as possible to make it easy and understandable for everyone. But at the same time, hopefully for those of you who are a bit more experienced, there are 1 or 2 things you can pick up from it as well. And then perhaps as a last thought, before I start the training, if there's anything specific that comes up in your mind while I'm doing the training, please do make a note of it, because then I can hopefully answer those questions for you afterwards. Or if it is something that requires a practical explanation, I can at some point do a little recording like you're going to see I did this evening to show you certain things in a practical way that may assist you then as well. So this is a first time we're doing this kind of training for the team. So it's a first timer. And if there's anything that we can do to improve the training in future or to add onto it, then please don't hesitate to share those ideas or get in touch with me personally or with Bia personally. If there's topics that you guys would like covered, then we can always look at a more practical workshop to get that done. Okay, so the training that I'm going to be sharing tonight, as I said, predominantly is focused on Facebook as well as on WhatsApp, because I think those are the 2 platforms that most of you probably utilize the most. Instagram, there will be a lot of overlap in terms of how you do certain things, but I'm not going to be focusing on that because Instagram can actually be a full training on its own. Yeah, so the first part that I'm going to be focusing on is giving you guys a little bit of background on content. So what kind of content should you be posting and why you should be posting that type of content. The second part is going to be a little bit more practical, showing you a couple of video clips. I actually had to learn how to do screen recordings. So you're going to see stuff that I actually did on my phone myself. And I did voiceovers for those videos, so you'll hear me talking on those videos as well. So hopefully that'll be a nice practical way for you guys to learn what to do and that we're not just talking about it in theory or using screenshots to explain it. Right, so jumping straight in. So we're going to be focusing on posts that you guys can write that need to generate interest. So what I mean by that is that you want your pictures, number one, to look good, whether you're using Instagram or whether you're using Facebook. You want it to look exciting. because most people are visual. 75% of people react to visual stimulation and not so much words. So if you want people to stop and take notice of your post as they're busy scrolling through their timeline on Facebook or busy scrolling through their feed on Instagram, you want to have something that piques their interest, something that makes them want to stop and actually then read the text that you have together with your image or your picture. So these are just a couple of examples that we've put here showing you of pretty standout type of pictures. The one on the left looks really cool with all the palm trees. Quentin Rivard sitting there with a big smile on his face, and he's got the energy tea in the bottom left-hand corner. The lady here in the middle has got a nice backdrop. She's got a beautiful smile. She's looking excited about life. The guys on the right, it's a really nice image of all the guys, some of the top leaders in Herbalife all together in a picture there. So you want to make sure first off that your picture captures people's attention, and then make sure that you write an interesting tag that goes along with the post, or an interesting comment that goes along with the post. Okay, so taking good photos is quite important, and there's a little video clip that I'm going to share with you guys a little bit later on that tells you how you can use different kinds of apps to make your posts, to make your pictures look more interesting for people to take a look at. I'm also going to be touching on using hashtags, how to join groups on Facebook, and how to search for people and find people that you can connect with on Facebook. Okay, so when it comes to content, you need to stay true to your own voice. What I mean by that is that you have to be authentic. So even if you admire someone on Facebook who is a model, say a fashion model, and you just love the values that she has, and she's an amazing person, but you're not a fashion model, you might be an amazing person, but you can't copy exactly what she does, because then you're trying to be like someone else. Social media doesn't need more of someone else. They need you to be unique. So you need to focus and take some time and think about what are the things that make you different? What are the things that make you stand out? Because the more true you are to yourself, the more people will feel that you are being real. You're not trying to be fake. You're not trying to copy anyone else. And you can inspire them and be motivational for your audience. And of course, you can use things like emojis to brighten up your post, and so that it's not just the plain text. You can use emojis to further enhance what it is that you're writing. But, you know, for instance, if you look at the picture at the bottom left, you almost don't even have to, you almost don't have to read the text. You can really tell by the picture that this is a pretty amazing story about someone's transformation, how they went from being overweight to actually almost looking like a fitness model on the right-hand side. You know, you could be doing posts that are motivational. If it's something that you feel strongly about, a topic that you feel strongly about, find an interesting image. Or what I like doing, and I'm going to share with you later what app I use to do that, is I like taking my own little motivational quotes. So if I'm doing personal development in the morning and I'm reading a book and I find something that someone says in the book that's really interesting, or I'm listening to some Jim Rohn or Mark Hughes and they say something that really hits home for me that morning, there's a specific app that I use called Word Swag. And I use that app, and they've got a whole bunch of different images that you can select from the app. And then I put the text of that quote over the image. It's very easy to go onto Google and go and search quotes by Jim Rohn and find an image from there and just share it. There's two problems with that. The first problem is it's not the content that you've created, because the images that you find on Google belongs to someone else. So you could be infringing copyright by taking those images and sharing it on Facebook and Instagram. And the second thing is, it's the lazy way of doing things, to be honest, because you're not being authentic. You want your own flair, your own personality that you want to add to your posts. So these apps make it easy. So take the time to use an app like WordSwag. There's a couple of other apps that you can use as well. And you use those images, or even if you are someone who's out and about and you take nice pictures of sunsets or of the beach or whatever else, you can even use those images and add your own text over it. Again, it makes it unique, it makes it stand out, it makes it who you are. Okay. And then sharing whatever is interesting for you in your life. If you're someone who's out and about, you're someone who exercises, you can share your fitness videos, you can share some fitness workouts, you can share images of you doing a workout, you training with other people. The whole idea about social media is that you almost need to imagine it like a live book or a soapy that someone is going to be watching. So if you think about TV programs, when you watch a TV program and you're watching a series that's really gripping, what makes it stand out is perhaps the storyline or the fact that there's a character that you identify with. And social media you need to see as the same. Don't just think of it as, oh, I've got to do 2 posts today. You really need to think about what is the message that you're trying to send. For someone who doesn't know you at all, what is it that they need to know about you? What makes you stand out? And if there's one post that catches their attention, what do you need to keep on doing for them to stay captivated, for them to keep watching you? Because remember, on average, people follow probably around 500 plus people on most social media platforms. And Facebook and Instagram run algorithms. And those algorithms base what you see on how many times you interact with those people. So if you keep on thinking, or you keep on seeing Bia's posts all the time, the reason for that is if you've liked her posts often enough and you've commented on her posts a few times, Facebook says, hey, Liesl actually likes Bia. Liesl likes seeing what Bia has to say. So we're going to make sure that Liesl sees more of Bia's posts. Okay, so it's important that you understand that that is how Facebook works, that is how Instagram works. So you want to make sure that once you've got someone's attention, that you're able to keep it. The other important part then about this storybook or this soapy, if you want to call it that, is that people want to come back for more. So with social media, especially if you want to use it as a tool to engage with people, you need to be posting consistently. So it varies. Some people are really busy with their posting. They do a lot of Instagram stories. They do a lot of Facebook stories where you can see those 24-hour timelines where they're just sharing every single thing that they're doing throughout the day. That's what Facebook stories, Instagram stories, and WhatsApp stories are for. Because after 24 hours, those things disappear. Regarding the content that you share on Facebook itself, on your timeline, as well as what you do on Instagram, you want to be selective. So think about 2 to 3 things, say maximum 4 things that you can share throughout the day that requires a little bit more input. So in other words, there's an image that you're going to be sharing or a video that you're going to be sharing and some content, written content that goes along with it. Or it could be a motivational quote that you're sharing with some thoughts that you have around it, and you add a couple of hashtags, which I'll touch on shortly. So if you want to just quickly snapshot you picking up products at Herbalife, then next photo is where you're delivering products to a client. Next photo is where you're making a new contact or you just made a new friend. Next photo is where you are taking a quick jog. Next photo is where you're prepping a meal. Those kinds of things where you don't really require a lot of text to be added. Those types of posts those types of posts are more suited to things like Instagram stories and Facebook stories and your WhatsApp story reel, because that runs for a loop of 24 hours, and then after 24 hours, the oldest image gets deleted. Okay. So hopefully this gives you a little bit more of an idea of the type of content. And no one can really tell you what type of content to post. The only thing that I can tell you is that it has to be authentic and it has to be something that people can identify with, and that you have to think from the reader's point of view. Is there something that they will find interesting enough that they will make the effort to look out for your posts again, because they want to see what's happening next in your life or in your day?
Could we kindly ask everybody to mute themselves, that we have a little bit less background noise? Thank you.
Right. Okay. So typically what you can do, and this is a great way for Herbalife coaches to actually share what they're doing in their lives and in their businesses, is you can document your journey. And it doesn't really matter whether you've got a weight loss journey or whether you are someone who is already very fit. Who comes to mind right now is one of our coaches, Peppy for those of you guys who follow Peppy on Facebook, she's not someone who's focused on weight loss anymore. She's already done that part. But what she's done really well with her social media is that she shares a lot around fitness. Because she already is a very fit person, she looks the deal. Now she shows people what kind of workouts she does, what products she uses to refuel herself. So she's really turned her profile from someone who was focused on weight loss into someone who's now a fitness freak. So she's really done well in documenting her journey. And those are the types of things that you want to focus on. Whatever your journey is, it doesn't really matter what it is, but you want to share with people what it is that you're going through. And remember, it's not always just about sharing the great stuff and the good stuff. If you are being authentic and you are being you, and you're having a challenging day when it comes to eating, if you're a weight loss person, if you feel comfortable enough, share those things, because other people are watching you and they might be experiencing the exact same struggles, the exact same things. So it's great when you can actually share that with people, and then also share how it is that you overcome those things, how you deal with those things. Another way in which we can use social media in a great way is to celebrate our clients, the results that our clients are getting, and also recognize our team for the things that they're achieving. Recognize their next level achievements, their results, if they're on track to qualify for the NutriBullet, if they're on track to qualify for the LDW. Those are the kinds of things that you want to share. And, you know, if you look at some of the people who use social media actively, they make effort with the posts. It's not just a post or not just a picture that they share of someone and say, hey, great, this person has done their first cut to the NutriBullet. You can learn the skill to use apps like an app called Over. Over allows you to overlay one photo on top of each other. So say, for instance, I want to recognize Nicolene for achieving world team level. I can actually take an image of the world team badge and I can overlay it on a photo of her. So already it makes the post stand out. It makes it look smarter. You guys get what I'm saying? So you want to make a little bit more effort. So you don't have to be an expert on how to use these apps, but make a little bit of effort to add a little bit of text, perhaps add a nice photo frame, because number one, it makes your client or your member feel really special if you do that, because you've taken the time and made the effort to do it. But also, it stands out more. It's not just another picture. So when people see this pop up on their timeline, and remember, you're tagging this person in that post on Facebook. Always remember to tag the people, because whoever you tag in that post will appear on their friends' timelines as well. So it's not them saying, hey, look at me, look what I've achieved. It's someone else sharing it, and now they see, wait a minute, this person has been talking to me about Herbalife for a long time. Now I see she's being recognized for achieving World Team. Now I see she's being recognized for attending a gala dinner. I wonder what this is all about. So now people start getting intrigued. Now people want to start following the journey and seeing what's happening. Another way in which you can use social media in a positive way is not just necessarily focusing on everything that's about Herbalife. You can share some interesting information like recipes. You can share workout routines. Again, doing the motivational quotes. You can share your likes and interests and really just showcase your lifestyle. So from my side personally, I love doing motivational quotes. I do those 2 to 3 times a week, especially if it's something that I feel really strongly about and something that I really want to share with people. I never just share the quote. I always type my thoughts and share my thoughts around the motivational quote that I'm sharing. I love sharing what I'm doing with my workouts. I've actually had a few people already contact me about what I do, not just from the workouts, but because of the workouts that they see, wanting to know how the heck do I manage to do those workouts on a regular basis. And it's a great way for me to then promote the nutrition that I'm using. You know, another picture there on the right, you can see a great way to share a client's results, get a nice picture of them, holding up a sign where you can say, hey, this is their result after 30 days or 20 days or 21 days, depending on which formats you're using. But always think that with what you're about to share, is it attractive? Is it something that other people would want to look at? Okay, so here are some snapshots of things that I've done. So this will give you an idea of the types of things that I share. There's obviously a lot more that I can share, but anyway, I have my 2 dogs. So for some of you who have kids, perhaps if you're out and about with your kids, or if you have grandchildren and you're out and about with your grandchildren, and doing posts during the day where you can show you're not sitting in an office, you're not sitting at a job if you're someone who does Herbalife full-time, and showcasing the fact that you have the time freedom to do what you're doing. So without saying to people, hey, I've got this great business opportunity, you need to talk to me about my business, I can help you earn extra money. Sometimes a lot of people aren't interested in the money, but what they're lacking is lifestyle. They don't have freedom of time. So without pushing it into their faces and rubbing their noses in it, you can basically say, hey, it's 4 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon, and if you check my social media, you'll see that I did a post like that today. I was at the beach this afternoon while everyone left the office and was sitting in traffic on their way home. So that's a great way for me to show to people that I actually have the time freedom to do that. Yes, I do work hard, but I don't have a boss telling me I have to be in an office from this time to that time. So I share a lot of content around my dogs. As I said, I do the motivational quotes, and I like doing interesting things like the post that you see there on the left-hand side where it says, you are magic, you are radiant. It's really colorful, it pops, it stands out. And what I did below that is I actually shared it on my WhatsApp status update. And someone actually that I hadn't spoken to in a very long time replied with a heart. And that helped me to get a conversation started with that person again, which is great. So talking about beautifying your posts, the post that I did there with Lorato in the middle, this was one that I did last month where I added in text, where I said all the things that she's qualified for after her first month. I put her next level. She achieved senior consultants and she did her first cut for the NutriBullet. So that's the app called Over that I was using to add those images, the NutriBullet and the senior consultant pin. When you're sharing pictures with food, for instance, make sure that you're using interesting filters that help you to get the picture to pop. Make sure that you're taking a picture in a setting where there is sufficient light. I'm an Apple user, so I'm not sure what you have available on Android, but when I take an image, there's a filter called Vivid. Now, Vivid makes the color pop. So if there's yellow on your plate, it makes the yellow even brighter. So when you're taking food photos, play around with some of the filters that you have available on your phones. And I'm only going to say this once, I won't repeat it. The Android phones have better cameras and they tend to have better filters as well. So those of you who are on Android, make use of it. I knew Bia would react. So those are really good. If you've got an Android phone, especially the Samsung phones, you don't have to edit your photos as much as you have to do with Apple, regrettably. But anyway, so play around with those things. Don't be scared to play with them. You can always remove the edits that you've done. But you want food to look, especially when you're taking photos of food, you want it to pop, you want it to be colorful. Then when you're using before and after photos, that's a great way to showcase what it is that you're doing. That picture, I didn't really have to say much. The picture says it all. So make sure that when you're using before and after pictures that it's good quality photos as well. The bottom picture is a member that I signed up a while ago. And I made sure that we took a fun photo, that it doesn't look like someone's posing for a school yearbook photo. Make it fun because that will also attract people's attention. Share what you're doing with meetings. Share things about your family if that is something that's important and interesting to people. Okay, so then it becomes important to start tracking and seeing what it is that people like. So you'll find that some of your posts, you get a lot of likes, other posts perhaps not so much. Don't just judge on the first time that you post that type of content. Post it a few times and see if you get a similar response, because that will give you an idea of what people are really enjoying, what they really like seeing, and what they're not really paying much attention to. And start tailoring your posts accordingly. So you can always see on Facebook and on Instagram how many likes you've had. If you've posted a video, you can see how many views you've had. So there's a whole bunch of different things that you can do and see what kind of traction you get from that, because that will also help you to structure your content a bit better going forward. Okay, so what makes a great photo or video? There's a couple of factors. Number one is the type of lighting. If you can, make sure that you're taking photos in properly well-lit areas. Make sure that you check the background. Don't just take a selfie. and not look what's behind you. There have been some interesting moments already where people have taken photos in bathrooms with them facing a mirror, taking a selfie, and they were naked at the back. The towel wasn't properly closed. So especially if you're taking bathroom selfies, guys, make sure that what is behind you, what's going to be in the background of your picture. Lekker lag, Olivia, no. So make sure that you check those kinds of things, because it can actually be really, really important. Or after you've taken the photo, just make sure that there isn't something weird in your background, like someone picking their nose, because then the whole post will be lost, where people focus on the person who did something funny in the background and not your actual post. Okay. But the middle picture here of a press team member in the US, Celeste Ridgmond, she's very big on social media. She always takes beautiful photographs, and you want to make sure that you are dressed in a fun way also, depending on what your post is about. Make sure that your lighting is good, that there aren't any weird shadows. And I've already spoken about the food posts with this picture here on the right. You can see, I promise you, this is not what the food actually really looked like. These are filters that were applied here to make those colors stand out more, because that makes it more attractive for the viewer to have a look at. And then also make sure that your personality stands out. I mean, if you follow people who always pose with the one hip forward and the hands on the hips, but that's not your personality, please don't post that way, because it will look awkward. If I do something like that, it would look really weird, because I just don't pose for photos like that. So make sure that whatever you do exudes your personality. Okay, and you want to add fun to it. Always make sure that your photos look fun, and organize your pictures with personal and custom hashtags. Okay, so you don't always have to use hashtags that are already there. You can start creating your own hashtag trend if you want to. A great example that I've got over here is she's a 60K President's Team member from the US, Fabiola. She's part of the Unstoppable Fit Couple team, she and her husband, and she posts a lot of workout videos, and she created her own hashtag called Coach Fabi and Fabi's workout videos. So those things now, after all this time, are actually starting to trend as hashtags. So if you create fun hashtags that are personal to you, and you keep using them, and your team starts using them and sharing them, if it's applicable to them, you can actually start creating a bit of a trend, and they can be rated as top hashtags as well. That goes for Facebook as well as for Instagram. Another example there was one that Celeste Ridgmond uses, which is called hashtag Goal Smashers. Another way in which you can do it. And just make sure, again, that those photos are interesting. People want to see fun stuff. So, some hashtag inspiration. You guys might want to take a screenshot of this. The ones that are in the red column, those are the hashtags you don't want to use. Why? Because Herbalife is not too keen on us using these types of hashtags, because they can create the wrong impression. Okay, there are other ways in which one can get the message across without using these hashtags. I've been guilty myself of using one or two of these hashtags, so have a good look at this list, take a screenshot of it, and make sure that you're not using any of those hashtags. And then the one on the green column, those are the ones you definitely want to use. Those are okay. Herbalife has no problem with using those hashtags. And obviously, if something isn't listed here, then usually it should be okay for you to use. But the ones on the left are a bit of a no-no. So instead of saying all expenses, doing hashtags like all expenses paid trips, you can do something like family trip or family vacation or lifestyle, or any one of those things would work better. It's just creating the right impression on social media, not making Herbalife look like a get-rich-quick scheme. So always consider, when using a hashtag, the context in which it is being used in relation to the entire post. The message that you're conveying has to be truthful, and you must be able to substantiate it and not misleading. Okay, and when it contains any earnings or a lifestyle claim, it's important that you use the Herbalife disclaimers. I haven't included them in this training this evening, but if you'd like those disclaimers, I can send them to you, or you can just look at myherbalife.com. And if you logged in and you search for disclaimers, those disclaimers will come up. It's actually a PDF document that Herbalife has made available with those weight loss disclaimers as well as the income testimonial disclaimer. Okay, so here are some more ideas for you guys regarding photo editing tools. So obviously you can use the tools that come with your specific type of phone. Your smartphones all have their own editing tools. Instagram and Facebook also have their own built-in editing tools. And then there are photography apps. There's an app called VSCO as well as Snapseed. I don't use VSCO, but Snapseed I do use. It's a really, really good app. You've got lots of different filters that you can apply there. There's going to be a short little video clip after this slide where the speaker is going to be touching a little bit on Snapseed and how she uses it. Collages, you can use Diptyque or you can use PhotoGrid. Obviously, there are a whole other ton of different types of apps. These are just some of the popular ones that I mentioned here. And then when you want to apply text over images, WordSwag is the one that I mentioned earlier on. It's a brilliant, brilliant app. To use its full functionality, it is a paid app, but it's not crazy expensive. And for the content that you get, the different types of text that you can apply and colors, it's actually a brilliant, brilliant app. I love it. And then there's another app called Photofy. So these are just some ideas. I hope you guys took a screenshot of this so that you can go play around and have a look at these apps. Okay, so here's a little video clip that's going to take you through how to use some of these apps, especially something like Snapseed. Just give me 1 second. This one takes a while to load.
You're going to just see how simple it is, and that's what I really want to go, because at the end of the day, just a photo and get back into action, talking to people, getting on FaceTime, going out, wearing my button in the community, and really doing my DMO daily and not being stuck, behind a computer or my phone doing social media all day. So we're going to go right into the live demonstration. So one of the applications that I absolutely love is called Snapseed. So you're going to be able to see right here, I pulled up a picture of us last night. We all went out to dinner, and as you can see, it's an already very attractive photo, right? A little bit of a plug there. Some good looking people. but what we're going to do is we're going to make it pop on the timeline even more. So this app, there's a lot of different tools you can use on Snapseed, but I'm just going to keep it very, very simple. So if you hit the menu on the top left-hand side, there's Tune Image. I'm going to click Tune Image. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag in. Remember, you can play with this. By you downloading an app and playing with it, I'm just going to add some brightness. Again, this is all part of your signature in the way that you edit photos. And I like adding ambiance. I like saturating the photo a little bit. And you can play with the highlights. You can play with the shadows. Okay, great. So it's a little bit done. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And then there's one more effect that I'm going to add, and it's called drama. And I actually learned this from Garen probably a couple years ago. So I can even decrease the filter strength a little bit. So I'm just using my finger to kind of run across the photo. And I'm decreasing the filter strength a little bit. And then I'm going to increase the saturation so it can make the color pop. Boom. And then I'm ready to go. That took no more than 30 seconds. I'm going to save it. But I'm going to show you the difference. So here's the edited photo. Okay, and I'm gonna hit it, and now you can see the previous photo, enhanced, previous photo, enhanced, and it makes a big difference. It's more attractive, and it's gonna draw more people into your post, and it may make the difference between someone reading what you have to say in the caption and someone not reading what you have to say in the caption. So from there, we're gonna go ahead and switch lanes into an app I like. It's called WordSwag. As you can see this right here, and there's a lot of different applications you can use. I'm going to go ahead and pick this out. I'm going to take the same photo, okay, that we just edited, and I'm going to go right in over here and find that edited photo. And let's go ahead and see right here. You know what? I didn't save it. Let me go ahead and save that real quick. Boom. Save. Make sure you always save the photo. Awesome.
Liesl.
Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload it into
No video.
go.
Liesl.
Right here. Here we go. Okay. So now if I want to add something to this, okay, and words are really great for recognition. They're good for just adding it if you want to be able to just add anything to a post. If you want to recognize somebody for being down, you know, if they lost weight, if they gained weight, if you want to recognize them for a level advancement in the marketing plan, all of those things are great. So just for the sake of the example, I'm going to just put use, wear, attract. Okay, right there, save and close. Now I have it and I can move it around just like this. And let's just say I want to change the font. Again, this is...
Sorry guys, I've had some comments that people aren't getting the video. Is no one seeing the video?
No.
Oh, shoot. Okay, 1 second. I apologize. I know what the problem is. Sorry, guys. Just give me 1 second.
Community and really do...
Hang on. Sorry, I didn't pick this up sooner. Please bear with me. Where is it now?
No problem. Take your time because this is what we need.
Okay, let's try that again. Apologies, guys.
Just see how simple it is, and that's what I really want to go, because at the end of the day, I want to be able to post a photo.
Can everyone see the video now?
Yep.
Oh, great. Thank you. Sorry.
And get back into action, talking to people, getting on FaceTime, going out, wearing my button in the community, and really doing my DMO daily and not being stuck, you know, behind a computer or my phone doing social media all day. So we're going to go right into the live demonstration. So one of the applications that I absolutely love is called Snapseed. So you're going to be able to see right here, I pulled up a picture of us last night. We all went out to dinner, and as you can see, it's an already very attractive photo, right? A little bit of a plug there. Some good looking people. but what we're going to do is we're going to make it pop on the timeline even more. So this app, there's a lot of different tools you can use on Snapseed, but I'm just going to keep it very, very simple. So if you hit the menu on the top left-hand side, there's Tune Image. I'm going to click Tune Image, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it. Remember, you can play with this. By you downloading an app and playing with it, I'm just going to add some brightness. Again, this is all part of your signature in the way that you edit photos. And I like adding ambiance. I like saturating the photo a little bit. And you can play with the highlights. You can play with the shadows. Okay, great. So it's a little bit done. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And then there's one more effect that I'm going to add, and it's called drama. And I actually learned this from Garen probably a couple years ago. So I can even decrease the filter strength a little bit. So I'm just using my finger to kind of run across the photo. And I'm decreasing the filter strength a little bit. And then I'm going to increase the saturation so it can make the color pop. Boom. And then I'm ready to go. That took no more than 30 seconds. I'm going to save it. But I'm going to show you the difference. So here's the edited photo. Okay. And I'm going to hit it. And now you can see the previous photo, enhanced. Previous photo, enhanced. And it makes a big difference. It's more attractive, and it's going to draw more people into your post. And it may make the difference between someone reading what you have to say in the caption and someone not reading what you have to say in the caption. So from there, we're going to go ahead and switch lanes into an app I like. It's called WordSwag. As you can see this right here, and there's a lot of different applications you can use. I'm going to go ahead and pick this out. I'm going to take the same photo, okay, that we just edited. And I'm going to go right in over here and find that edited photo. And let's go ahead and see right here. You know what? I didn't save it. Let me go ahead and save that real quick. Boom. Save. Make sure you always save the photo. Awesome. Saved it. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload it into WordSwag. So we can go boom right here. Here we go. Okay. So now if I want to add something to this, okay, and words are really great for recognition. They're good for just adding it if you want to be able to just add anything to a post. If you want to recognize somebody for being down, you know, if they lost weight, if they gained weight, if you want to recognize them for a level advancement in the marketing plan, all of those things are great. So just for the sake of the example, I'm going to just put use, wear, attract. Okay, right there, save and close. Now I have it, and I can move it around just like this. And let's just say I want to change the font. Again, this is all your signature of when you play with it. You're going to find the fonts that you like. You're going to find your way of posting that's good for you, and how you can make it look good. So again, there's no real wrong or right way to do this, but the more you practice with something, the better you get. So again, so these are just some of the ways. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this right here. Boom, use where attract, done. Just like that. Very, very fast. The photo saves automatically.
Okay, so hopefully that gave you guys a bit of a practical example of how you can use Snapseed, how you can use WordSwag. But like Celeste said in the video, it's very important that you actually take the time to download those apps and play around with them, because you'll find eventually what it is that suits your personality and what works for you. Okay, so moving on. The 3 steps that you want to then keep in mind is that you want to take a fun picture, you want to get an app that applies and that you want to use for that specific photo, and then add 1 or 2 hashtags to whatever it is that you want to add to your post. And remember, Facebook uses hashtags as well. So if people start searching for specific things on Facebook, if you've hashtagged it, your post will pop up for people as well. Okay, so next on to our practical example for Facebook. Here's one that tells you how to find and join groups. Everyone can see this image of a phone screen here? Can everyone see this image?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Hey guys,
Yes,
I'll do a quick video clip to explain to you how to do post
Yes.
classified group. So if you in the quad groups, you'll know that one of the tasks that we have on some of the days involves doing posts in classified groups. So this little video hopefully will give you an idea of how to join those classified groups and how to do posts. So first off, you'll open up Facebook, and in the top of the search bar, you'll type in classifieds. So ideally, there's a whole bunch of different classified groups that come up. I live in Cape Town, so I will select Cape Town classifieds. But as you can see, it gives me a whole bunch of different things from different posts and even pages. But I specifically want to look at groups. So I'll toggle at the top and click on groups. So now it will only give me Cape Town classified groups. So you can see the top one, there's a tick next to it. It's one that I've already joined. Those that have blue circles with arrows next to them, those are join requests where I've asked to join, but it's a pending request waiting. But let me show you how to join. So there's Cape Town classified ads, promote your business. So if I click on that one, it will open up in a second. Right, so we'll see over here, Cape Town classified ads. I'll have a look at the about section of this group first. I want to see if it's a group that I can join. Oftentimes there are specific rules with regards to how and when you can join and what type of posts they allow. It might not be something that is allowed for our business specifically, so then I won't join. But you'll see that there's a section that shows join group. So if I click on the join group, it will open up either a pending request, or in this instance, it opens up a question section where it wants me to ask specific questions, which the admins will review before I can actually join the group. So they want to know whether I'm browsing or selling. I am obviously selling. They want my email address. I can give them my email address. It's public information from my side anyway. It depends on you whether you want that information available. And below, they want to know if I need exposure. So this is obviously a company that started a group that's looking to assist people with online ads. I'm just typing no because I don't need any assistance. And I can then click on send to admins. And either it will be a pending request or it will get approved straight away. So let's see what happens. Okay, great. It's not a pending request. It immediately allows me to join. So I can pretty much now do a post. So hopefully this gives you guys a bit of an idea on how you can do these posts and that you understand how these classified pages work. Obviously, remember, always follow the rules in terms of what Herbalife allows, in terms of what you're allowed to post, but this is pretty much it. You can join as many groups as you like.
Great. Okay, so hopefully that video clip gave you guys a bit of an idea of how to find those groups and places where you can do advertisements. So say, for instance, you're doing a 21-day challenge advertisement, or you're doing a 30-day challenge with us and you want to promote that. You can actually do that, or you're doing belly fat challenges, whatever it is that you're doing, and you want to go onto those classified groups and post your advertisement there, then that is the place to do it. Now, again, when it comes to posting ads, be sure that you're making it, be sure that you make it interesting, that people would want to look at your advertisement. Because remember, those groups are quite big. You've got thousands of people that are members in those groups, and there's a lot of posts that come up. So you want to make sure that yours stands out. If you're just trying to sell a product and you're posting a picture of a product on there, most people switch off, because there's 6,000 other people who are trying to sell a product and post that product on there. So using things like before and after pictures, using things like competitions where people can win prizes, those are things that are appealing to people and would make them want to stop and actually look at what it is that you are promoting. But also remember that with these classified pages and groups, it's about consistency. Don't think you're going to post an ad once and get 5, 6, 7, or 50 people contacting you. You need to be consistent in posting in those groups so that people need to see it regularly. The norm used to be that people need an exposure of around 21 times, but because of things like social media and how people get bombarded with things, that number has actually tripled of how many times people need to see a thing before they'll actually take the time to think about whether they would be interested in it. Okay, so moving along to something like WhatsApp status updates. Okay, this is another great way in which you can communicate indirectly with people who you already have on your mobile phone. So anyone that you have listed as a contact in your phone who is on WhatsApp and who has your number on their phone are able to see your WhatsApp status updates. What makes WhatsApp status updates more awesome than Facebook and Instagram is that you can be a bit more direct on WhatsApp status updates in terms of what it is that you are asking people to do versus what you can do in a public platform like Facebook and Instagram. Because WhatsApp for now is still seen as a peer-to-peer, a person-to-person kind of platform, and it's not general public, because those people have you as a contact, so it isn't seen as spamming and it isn't in an open social environment. So doing things like WhatsApp status updates where you say that blue block over there, who do you know that could do with an extra 3,000 to 7,000 Rand per month part-time without interfering with what they do full-time, things like that you can say on a WhatsApp status update. You're not allowed to do that on Facebook, and you're not allowed to do that on Instagram though. So WhatsApp status updates gives you a bit more flexibility in terms of what you can do. But again, doing those recognition posts, sharing before and after pictures on your WhatsApp status update, if you get consistent with that, it's all about timing, because you never know when people are actually bored and busy on their phones and busy scrolling through WhatsApp status updates. And if you've posted something before that people find interesting, trust me, they'll go back and they'll keep on looking at your WhatsApp status updates because they'll want to see what it is that you're getting up to. So promoting things like your challenges that you're running, sharing results that people have had, doing recognition where you're welcoming a new member to the team. All of those things are interesting for people to keep an eye out on. Now, in WhatsApp, when you look at those status updates, you can actually see if, like in this image here on the right on your screen, those are status updates that I had done. And you can see how long ago they were posted, because remember, WhatsApp status updates like Facebook and Instagram stories only run and loop for 24 hours. But if you look at the top one that was 14 hours ago, 41 people actually looked at that image. Now, if I want to know who those people are, I can click on the little eye and it will bring up a list of the names. So I can actually see who's watching me, who's regularly watching my posts. And I'm going to share something interesting with you after the next little video clip, because I've actually done a video clip where I did 2 different types of WhatsApp status updates. And I'm going to tell you what actually happened later today when someone responded to one of those WhatsApp status updates. So here's another little video clip that will explain to you how to do a WhatsApp status update if you don't already know how.
Okay guys, here's a little video that will explain to you how to use WhatsApp status updates. I know quite a few use it. Some of you don't know how to use it, so here's how we go. It might look different on Android versus Apple devices, but look for these specific features. So at the bottom left, you'll see their status. Up the top, you'll see my status, and I can choose to post an image or write a text. So if I start with image, it will take me to my camera roll. I can open up and I can select a photo that I want to post there. So I'll take one from this morning. I hit a new personal best with weightlifting, so I can type something about that. It might be something that intrigues people and help me to connect with them. So I can type hit a new PB with front squats, 60 kilograms, super stoked. And add some emojis, which is really cool. And I can then also add something else like more to follow in 2019. Once I get the typing right. And more to follow in 2019. More PBs to follow in 2019. And I can send and it will appear on my status updates. The other option is writing something. So I can open up the writing section and I can write a post. Let's say about the business opportunity. Would you like to earn 3,000 to 20,000 rand per month? DM me for more info. Flame, flame, flame. Nice little emoji. And then in the top right, you can see there's a palette. I can actually change the background color, and I can also toggle the type of text. And if I'm happy with the post, I can click the send button in the bottom right-hand corner. And then from there, if I go to my status updates, I can actually see how many people have already viewed, and some people have actually already viewed those posts. And I can click on the eye and see how many people have viewed it, who those people are, and I can connect with them as well. Important note just on this last post that I did about earning an income, please remember that you're not allowed to post posts like that on Facebook and Instagram because that would be a public domain, but nothing stops you from doing that on WhatsApp because only people who have your contact details in on their phone can see your WhatsApp status update. So it's a bit more of a private post when you do it that way. Keep in mind also that these posts disappear after 24 hours. So it's like a snapshot of things that are happening throughout your day that you can post here, and it's like almost like a little movie that people watch about your life and about your day. Hope that helps, guys.
Okay, so hopefully that helps you guys a little bit as well on how to do WhatsApp status updates. Now, interesting on that second post that I did about earning an income, my Uber driver that I had that took me to the airport on Thursday and it also came to pick me up on Tuesday when I came back from Johannesburg, he asked me yesterday about the products, and I sent him some information on the products because he wants to gain muscle. But then when he saw this post today, he actually sent me a message and he said, listen, how does this work? What is it about? And I've now invited him to attend the online HOM tomorrow evening when we've got new President's team member, Executive President's team member Zolani Wolela as our special guest. Because I'm pretty sure he'll be able to identify with his story, his background, and his circumstances currently is very similar to what Zolani's was. So just by doing a simple example post that I actually wanted to use for this training, it actually got someone make contact with me about the business opportunity. So use it, guys. It's for free. Learn how to do these things. Embrace them because it really makes a big difference and it's nice add-ons without taking a lot of your time to get it done. But always approach these things with the end in mind. What is it that you want, that you're going to be doing with this person that connects with you through social media? Because obviously you're not just doing these posts for fun. You're doing this because you want to get them as a customer or you want to get them as a member in your team and as a coach. So this is where you then need to be clear about your flow and what it is that you do once the person says, hey, I'm interested. Okay, so I'm not going to go tonight into what the flow is and what you should look out for, but be sure that you know what the next steps are that you're going to be taking the person through if they've shown an interest. Otherwise, all that work you've done is for nothing. So here's a couple of tips in closing. just get started with social media straight away if that is what you want to do. But take people on a journey with you. People want to experience what it is that you're going through, what your life is like. It's sometimes sad to think that that is what our society has evolved into, but people are looking for ways to escape their own boring, dreary, unhappy lives. And if you can show them that there's a better way to live and a different way to live, trust me, people will be interested and they'll start following your journey. Post about your goals, post about how much you love your shake, your workouts, the different people you've met to inspire you. So it's not about posting static pictures. Use Where Talk, tell a story with your pictures, because that's what people want to see. And also always keep in mind that you're representing our awesome Herbalife company through your posts. Make sure it's positive and that it always puts the brand in the best light. Engage with people who like or comment on your posts. Facebook especially loves that. All right. If they see that you're interacting with other people, that's what Facebook was designed for. It was meant to be a social network. So they like it when they see things like that, and then your posts will appear more prominent in people's timelines as well. If you start using words like selling or buy from me, Facebook actually has an algorithm that prevents those posts from popping up prominently on people's timelines. Why? Because they see you as trying to sell something, and then they rather want you to buy paid advertising from them. So that's why they won't make those posts as visible. But when you're sharing lifestyle things and you're getting people to like your posts and especially to comment on your posts, Facebook loves that. That means what you're showing is what other people want to see. There's social interaction, and then they'll make sure that your posts appear more prominently on those people's timelines. See posting on social media as building a mosaic of your life, and each picture is like a little tile that you're laying down that's building this mosaic. And overall, just always be authentic and be you. So with that being said, I want to talk to you guys just in closing about the quad system. So the quad system, for those of you who aren't part of it, is an amazing system that we implemented in August last year. Its sole purpose really is to get you to be more consistent with your activity levels and to learn how you can use Where and Talk, how you can engage with people, how you can get customers, how you can get more members. There's daily tasks and things that you have to do, or that you don't have to do, but that we recommend you do when you're part of the quad, because this will help you to learn the basic skills that you need in getting consistent in talking to people, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's on social media. This is what the quad system helps you to do. So why you should join is if you are serious about building your business and getting to your next levels, it's a great environment in which to learn how to do those things. You're not alone on a quad system. You've got a quad leader. You've got other fellow quad participants who are there to help you and who are there to support you and guide you and give you ideas. You learn from other people, and none of these people are part of your team or your upline or your downline, so there's no pressure that you feel like people are wanting you to do things because they want something out of it. It's not like that at all. So you get to learn and you get to grow and you get to develop the skills that you need to get better and consistent in your business. So for those of you who want to join the quad system, it's always based on your previous month's volume points. And you need a minimum of 300 personally purchased volume points. So for the quad that's starting in March, you need to submit your name. If you've done 300 PPV in February already, please submit your name either directly to BIA or to your upline and say that you want to be part of the quad system and you want your name to be put forward. BIA is flying to Singapore on Sunday, so we need to get the quad teams finalized before that happens, and the quad will officially launch on Monday evening. Myself and Olivia Benjamin will be doing the call and announcing the teams. So please, guys, no last-minute entries. We really need you to get your names submitted as soon as possible. And I'm sure if you chat to anyone who's been on the quad, or if you've been following the posts on our groups, you'll see that people have been giving incredibly positive feedback about how the quad has impacted their business and how they interact with people in a positive way. So it's quite a mouthful that I shared with you guys tonight. I really hope that you took some value out of that. As I said, this was my first effort to do a little bit of a more practical social media workshop. You're welcome to give any critique or any suggestions that you have going forward. I'd love to expand this into a more substantial training. Let me know what you guys want and if this helped or didn't help. I don't know. But I hope that you did get some value out of it. Thanks so much, Bea.
Fantastic, Lisa. Thank you so much. This was absolutely amazing. Appreciate every little minute. I was actually in between on my phone doing exactly what you said. I was very excited because it looks like a charm and it's easy to actually put into action. Without any further ado, 9 o'clock, I think we just say thank you very much because the quad leaders get to now together into a call. But this was really brilliant stuff. And I'm sure if you have questions, you just send a message in our chat groups and tell the others how amazing the call was. Thank you very much, Lisa. Thanks, everybody, for being on the call.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. It was awesome.
What a spectacular
Bye,
meeting.
Vicky.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Lisa.
Bye. Thank you, Lisa.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.